Here at the Universalist Unitarian Church of Farmington, every day, in every way, we bid you welcome. In this community of radical inclusion, we make space for what you believe, who you are, what you love, and who you love. Your whole self is welcome here. It is important that you showed up today. Gathering in community is an act of rebellion against isolation and hopelessness. Knowing this to be true, please repeat after me, we are rebels for hope.
We are rebels for hope.
Yes, that we are. My name is Linda Brown, and I am your service leader today. My pronouns are she, hers, and welcome. Hello, everybody. And hello at home. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us, whether you're enjoying the service here with us in person or online. We're very fortunate today to have a guest speaker, Deedee Lloyd. I'll tell you more about her later in the service. I'd like to extend a special welcome to anybody who's visiting today. We're glad that you've joined us, and after the service, if you like, please, downstairs there will be coffee in our social hall, and our ushers, greeters will show you where that is. Please take a moment now to silence any digital devices you may have nearby and bring your attention to this time together. And I didn't plan this, but I forgot to do mine too, so you got a moment. We have some announcements today, quite a few, so bear with me. First, and most important, there's a town hall today after the service where we'll be hearing about the final budget that's been proposed, as well as the slate of candidates for next year's leadership. We're going to start about 5 minutes after the service ends, so you've got time to run and, take a bathroom break. Just a reminder, no coffee comes back up into the meeting house because it tends to spill and stain things. But so if you can drink a cup of coffee really fast, or you can wait until after the town hall. We appreciate it. UUCF Movie Night is this coming Thursday, April 30th. We will be watching Julia Scotti, Funny That Way. Doors open up at 6:30. The movie will begin at 7, and popcorn and drinks will be provided. It's that time of year again, and spring has sprung. The Crop Hunger Walk is coming up on Sunday, May 3rd. 25% of the funds raised go to 6 local food pantries, which include CARES, Hospitality House, Neighborhood House, Salvation Army, Yad Ezra, which provides kosher food, and Zaman International that provides halal groceries and much more. 75% of the funds raised goes to Church World Services, which does great work around the world. The people who are going to walk will meet up on Sunday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. at the First United Methodist Church in downtown Farmington. There's a 1-mile walk and a 3.55-mile walk. If you'd like to walk with us, you can sign up by scanning the QR code, which is where? The QR code. Or using the website included in the weekly email blast, the magnet, or in flyers downstairs in Adams Hall. You can support a walker by giving them a contribution using the QR code or going to the website to donate. Whoever's walking who's here today, could you stand up? So see them and contribute. Thank you. Thank you for helping your neighbors around the block and around the world. Any questions? See Yvonne, who was standing up at the back. Thank you for supporting the Crop Hunger Walk. Next Sunday, May 3rd, is our annual flower ceremony. Please bring loose flowers to contribute to the ceremony. They can be from your garden or Kroger. It doesn't matter. Just bring a flower to share. Opportunities for connection this week. Monday night, AA meeting and choir. Tuesday, men's lunch and the fundraising committee meeting in the evening. Thursday is the UUCF movie night that I mentioned before, and a buildings and grounds committee meeting. We begin our service by lighting the chalice, which is the symbol of the faith that we share, with the words from our mission statement. Please join in reading our mission statement in unison. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, live with compassion. Our opening hymn is number 1007 from not the Teal hymnal. There's a river flowing in my soul. Please rise in body or spirit.
Hello, my name is Argo Kramer. I am the Religious Education Coordinator here, and I have a message for all ages to read for us today. Before I get started, once I am done and we're going to sing the children out in the recessional, we have our rainbow arches on this side of the aisleway. And just make sure if you are in a row with a rainbow arch and you are sitting near the end that you have a buddy on the other side that you can pop it up with. And if anybody wants to see the pictures better, you can come sit up on the steps here or in the front row. And this book is called Love is Still Winning. When I came into the kitchen this morning, Mama was reading the newspaper, and she had tears in her eyes. Why are you crying, Mama? I was reading a sad story about people saying mean things to others because of what they look like, where they come from, and what they believe in. Why would they do that, Mama? Don't they know we should be kind to one another? Don't they want new friends? Oh, my little one, she said, those are good questions, and I wish I knew the answers. I thought and thought for a while, and then I told Mama, I have an idea. Maybe we should remind them that love is everywhere. What do you mean? She asked curiously. I mean that love is still winning, Mama. I see it every day. When a kid is left out on the playground because they look different or have a unique style, and another kid reaches out a hand and says, "Want to play?" Love wins. Love is still winning. And love is still working. I know this when I see our neighbor help Senora Dominguez carry her grocery bag to her apartment. And love is still giving. Mama, remember the soup kitchen serving food to those in need? That is how love gives. Love is still giving. I see, exclaimed Mama. I feel better already. Can I give it a try? Love is still moving, she says. When our neighbor Bey Eslan pushes his wife's wheelchair around the block at sunset, we hear their laughter float into the air and know that love is still speaking in every accent and in every language about peace. Lape, salam, hewa, amani. Yes, and love is still welcoming. We welcome strangers and open our doors instead of keeping them closed. Love is still singing, little one. Can you hear it? It sings in the melody of the nightingale's song or the whoosh of the morning breeze, and when we sing back, love is still listening to your story and mine and all the stories that came before. Yes, 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 Mama, love is here. I looked into Mama's beautiful eyes and she smiled at me. I saw love. I saw hope. I see that love is still hoping. And I know that love is still winning. And that's the end of the book. Thank you. All right, so now the words to our children's recessional as you go will be projected on the screen, and anyone going to RE classes can head out, and we are going downstairs.
Through the sharing of joys and sorrows, we make space every Sunday for authentic and vulnerable sharing, which helps to build this congregation into beloved community. You are invited to share what's going on in your life, to name your feelings and the people in your heart in need of prayer, good energy, best wishes, and other help. You are welcome to come pick up a stone or stones from the table, infuse or charge it with your joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl, where its energy will ripple out to be held by all of us. If you'd like to verbally share something important on your heart, please come up and speak directly into the microphone. All are welcome to participate in any of these ways. candles for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. One for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of the gathered community that can support you and bring you peace. We'll figure out the proxy. Our reading today is an excerpt from Audre Lorde's 1977 speech, The Transformation of Silence into Language and Action. I have come to believe over and over again that what is most important to me must be spoken, made verbal, and shared, even at the risk of having it bruised or misunderstood. That the speaking profits me beyond any other effect. My silence had not protected me. Your silence will not protect you. What are the words you do not yet have? What do you need to say? What are the tyrannies you swallow every day by day and attempt to make your own until you will sicken and die of them, still in silence? We can learn to work and speak when we are afraid, in the same way we have learned to work and speak when we are tired. For we have been socialized to respect fear more than our own needs for language and definition. And while we wait in silence for that final luxury of fearlessness, the weight of that silence will choke us. The fact that we are here and that I speak these words is an attempt to break that silence and bridge some of those differences between us. For it is not difference which immobilizes us, but silence. And there are so many silences to be broken. You can remain seated, but we're going to sing the next song, which is number 391, Voice Still and Small. You are now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. You may also give to UCF online via the QR code on the back of the order of service. The morning offering will now be gratefully received. Please join me in reciting the offertory blessing that can be found in the order of service. To the work of creating beloved community within and beyond these walls, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings. I'd like to introduce our speaker today. Deedee Lloyd is the author of Love That Transcends Tolerance, Finding Peace in the Gender Transition of Your Loved One. As the proud mother of a transgender son, she brings both lived experience and professional insight to her work, helping parents build stronger, more loving relationships with their transgender children. Deedee is also a board member of Stand With Trans and a native Detroiter. So please welcome Deedee.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I want to thank you, friends, for this invitation to share in a theme that is sacred to me. It's sacred to me as a parent, as a teacher, as a life coach, as a member of Renaissance Unity, and as a board member of Stand With Trans, which you know is a national organization dedicated to supporting transgender youth and their families. I have to tell you, this is a sacred theme not because I am so wonderful at being able to do it at all the points in my life. When my son, 16-year-old, came out as transgender, I went into instant panic. I could not imagine his future being anything but difficult. So, this theme is important to me because I know what it's like to be bound in a system of thoughts where possibility isn't even realized, let alone embraced. So that was in 2020, and I stand before you now talking about embracing possibility. I stand before you now in 2026, where there are over 600 anti-LGBTQ laws being proposed. Now, when 21 states have anti-trans bathroom laws. Now, when the healthcare system that my family relied on, the one in our state, stopped offering gender-affirming care to youth. Now, when rights and protections of transgender people are being revoked at unprecedented rates. This is when I'm standing before you now talking about embracing possibilities. So friends, what do you think changed between then and now? Well, okay, so we know the world did not become kinder to transgender people, right? And my son, spoiler alert, did not change. Even though I'm sure back then I probably thought, oh my God, this would be so much easier if he could just change or would change and all of that. But that didn't happen. So what changed? Yeah, that's it. Let's see if this works. Oh, no, it didn't work right. I need your help, James. There it is. My thinking changed. Once my thinking changed, my feelings, my actions, my life results, they followed. So even though I felt myself to be a loving and kind parent, if I wanted to be the type of parent that truly loved and supported my child, my thinking had to change. The circumstances of life offered me two options. Either I could stay stagnant where I was, and that was a socially respectable place. I had people in my circle that commiserated with my fear and lament and concern about my son. Or I could start a system of work where I did the work on myself, not thinking that my son is going to change. So in that with that option, I couldn't rest on my noble affiliations or my reputation. I couldn't go through the motions of supporting my son. I had to do the actual work so that I became authentic. And I have to tell you, that second option, it did come with some discomfort of awareness, and it did come with an increase in time and energy. But I would not have traded choosing that second option for anything. And there were two reasons for this. One is that I noticed a lot of the little fires, the little things that my son had all of a sudden started to experience, they started to disappear. But most important, I began to heal the relationship with my son. And that was a relationship that I didn't even know was beginning to fracture. Like, who knew that when you don't fully support someone, when they're telling you who they are, that might create disconnect? I don't know, you know. So I have to tell you, my son is such a blessing in who he is. He's such a light in this world that I'm still bothered, even to this day, that it took me a moment, that there was a moment hesitation before I really, really got it. So I feel that we, as communities of faith, we're being offered a similar option. We too can rely on vague kindness. We can rely on our reputations. We can rely on things like that in our support, or we can move. We can move into action-oriented work. We are in a climate of polarization, fear-based rhetoric, and anti-trans sentiment. This is not just political fodder. This is being experienced by real children, real families, real congregations, real communities. Harmful language becomes harmful policy. Harmful policy brings about fear. Fear brings more isolation, and isolation causes suffering. So when we're in our faith communities and we talk about embracing possibilities, we're not talking about optimism for optimism's sake. We are talking about moral courage, and we are talking about action-oriented support. Yeah, I'm not good at this. All right. I'm just going to talk. Okay, so in my book, Love That Transcends Tolerance, I talk about my journey from my cycles of worry and fear to being able to really, truly be the support and ally that my child needed me to be. And so tolerance, when I think about it, it was not enough back then, and that's the same today. Tolerance is not enough today. Tolerance can remain quiet. Tolerance can stay passive. Tolerance can see harm unfold and still feel respectable. Tolerance sounds noble when it's clearly not. But love, real love, does so much more. Love takes you by the hand and says, we're in this together. Love protects dignity. Love interrupts harm. And love shows up publicly for those being targeted. That is why the message of love that transcends tolerance is so important to me. Now, I know where I am. I had a chance to watch the service for Transgender Day of Visibility, and that was really, really awesome. So thank you for that. So I know our journey here isn't from hatred and misunderstanding to tolerance. You know, our journey could possibly be from passive acceptance to action-oriented love, or it might be slight apprehension to courage. But that journey is really needed now. Transgender people and their families, we're carrying the weight of this moment in deeply personal ways. What gets debated on stages and on television, it gets experienced in classrooms, it gets experienced in kitchens, it gets experienced in churches, and it gets experienced in bodies. Young people are trying to hold on to their dignity while their humanity is being questioned. Parents are trying to protect their children while navigating their own valid fears and concerns. Families are trying to stay connected while the world around them grows harsher and louder. So that's why silence at this time is not acceptable. Silence is not neutral. When people are being dehumanized, silence doesn't create safety for anyone. It just creates permission for harm to continue. So if we believe that every person has sacred worth, then our belief must become visible. It must become more than sentiment. It must become a practice of advocacy, truth-telling, and solidarity. When human rights are under attack, defending them becomes spiritual work. I'm going to make this work. Yes, yeah. Yes, okay, good, all right. So in my coaching practice, I created a tool called the Peace Process Framework. And PEACE, P-E-A-C-E, stands for pay attention, empathize, analyze, certainty, and elevate. This is a tool that was designed to move people from parents, of transgender kids in particular, from cycles of worry and fear and concern to more helpful states. So in this space, I want to highlight the tool not for private healing, but for public courage. I want to use it as a tool to help us awaken to better possibilities. There we go. Pay attention. Notice the harm, notice the fear, notice the stories being told in our culture and in our minds. Engage in intentional and active listening. Empathize. Refuse to let ideology erase humanity. Remember that real people are living under the weight of these messages. Analyze. Examine the beliefs and systems sustaining harm. Question what is true, what is distorted, and what is being normalized. Certainty. Discriminate between facts and rhetoric. Choose where you stand. Not certainty rooted in control, but certainty rooted in sacred worth, compassion, and justice. Elevate. Consider all the previous steps to choose thinking that causes you to rise into action. Advocate, protect, organize, show up. Because embracing possibilities in this moment means that we can do more than just feel bad. We can become useful, and we can become faithful in action. All right. I'm going to get this. Here it is, stop. Okay, good. Got it. Okay. So, what might this look like in our communities? It might look like a lot of what I see here. It might look like congregations naming anti-trans harm clearly instead of hiding behind vague language. It might look like challenging dehumanizing language. It might look like visible and vocal affirmation in worship, education, and community life. It might look like monthly reoccurring donations to organizations like Stand With Trans that provides families with resources, mental health support, and connection. It might look like making sure young people and their family know that there is a place where they can come and be embraced. It might look like refusing to let fear-based narratives define what love requires. That is the kind of faith I believe this moment is calling us to choose. Not performative faith, not comfortable faith, not faith that stays safely in the sanctuary, but faith with skin on, faith that protects and risks something for the sake of love. And let me say this too, action without compassion can become brittle. And compassion without action becomes stagnant. We need both to ignite possibility. And possibility is what keeps us from surrendering to cynicism. Possibility is what keeps us from believing that cruelty is stronger than love. Possibility is what helps us to imagine a different future and then be able to work towards creating it. I have seen this future in glimpses. I've seen a young person learn that they're not alone. I've seen a parent move from peace to panic. I've seen communities choose welcome over fear. And I've seen people, when they stop asking, what can I still do? Or what can I do and still seem kind? And start asking, what does love require of me now? That is the question. What does love require of me now? So, does love require you to speak out? Does love require you to listen more deeply? There's no one way or one thing to do. This is our tool to use. Does love require that you challenge harmful language? Does love require that you become visible in your support? Does love require that you or your congregation move from intention to public action? The good news about this is that we don't have to do everything. Each of us can do something. We can decide how we want to stand with those who are vulnerable. We can refuse to let tolerance or passiveness masquerade as love. Love is a force that can transform families. Love is a force that can transform communities. Love is a force that can move us from silence into solidarity. So today, let's ask ourselves, what does love require of me now? Who needs your voice right now? And where has silence become too expensive? When we start to allow love to lead us into action, I believe a great deal becomes possible. I believe fear can soften. I believe fractured relationships can heal. I believe public witness can save lives. I believe visible solidarity can change what people think is possible for themselves and for other people. That is the possibility I want us to embrace. Not a soft possibility, but a courageous one. May we be people who do more than tolerate. May we be people who protect dignity. May we be people who partner with those who are vulnerable. And may we become communities where love is not only preached, but it's practiced in ways that the world can see and feel. Okay, you can join me in these words if you'd like. Spirit of justice and love, awaken us. Disturb our complacency, strengthen our compassion, clarify our calling. Bless those who are carrying fear, grief, and exhaustion under the weight of anti-trans hostility. Surround transgender people, their families, and all who are vulnerable with protection, dignity, and deep belonging. Make us brave enough to speak, steady enough to act, and loving enough to stay engaged. May our faith become visible in the world through justice and courageous solidarity. May we go forth committed not only to kindness, but to active duties of love. Amen and blessed be. I thank you, UCF, for your support, of Stand with Trans, and I thank you for your attention today. Amen.
Thank you, Deedee. Our closing hymn today is number 108, My Life Flows On, an endless song, which can be found in the Gray Hymnal. Please rise and bow to your spirit. Before I extinguish the chalice, just a reminder, 5 minutes, and then we'll have the town hall start. We extinguish this chalice with an open heart. We are building a better world together. We are becoming better people together. We are living our lives together. We don't have to do it alone.
Hello. If you are staying for the town hall, you have 5 minutes to use the bathroom, get a drink of water. There is childcare available for the town hall. So if you have children and they're going to be in the childcare, Argo's just going to keep them down in the RE wing. So you're welcome to stay up here.